but this is what it takes to build America. America, America. So, part two of watching Brooklyn gentrify from my rooftop. What you guys are seeing behind me is the building that I showed on the first episode. And if you could look closely, you'll see a lot of little yellow and orange hatted men. That is the backbone of America. These are the people who build the cities we live in, the roads, everything, right? But on this episode, I wanted to first touch on something that I never mentioned in the first episode before we go down on the actual ground and see these places. These prices that you see in New York of $500,000, $1 million condos all stems from the cost of building, okay? Like I mentioned in the first episode, land here is expensive. And that building that you are seeing behind me, right? That building, if I'm looking right now, it takes up at least 5 different parcels of land. 5 different parcels, meaning these row homes that you see behind me, it takes up at least 5 of those. And I mentioned in the first episode that each of those costs at least $1 million. Most of them go for 1.2 and up, okay? So let's just understand this building's cost starting from the ground. Let's assume that this building is gonna have, let's say, 30 units. And for 5 parcels at $1.2 million per parcel, they've already spent $6 million just on land. Just on land alone, this developer is like $6 million in, okay? Now, divide that up into 30 different units. Hold on, it's so windy. Give me 1 second. I don't want my head to fly off. Oh, all right. Okay, like I said, at $6 million, and assuming that there will be at least 30 units in this building, let's assume that those units will all be the same, right? All equal size, all equal everything. I did the math quickly on a piece of paper for you guys, and at 5 parcels at $1.2 million each, $6 million spent on just land, 30 units being built on that piece of land, that would put the cost of each unit already at $200,000. 200. Now, like I said, that building on the other side of me costed entry-level units at $560 something thousand. The one being built right now that you're hearing all the dings and clashes and everything, and you see these hardworking men, you're already $200,000 in just from land, okay? And then I went on to just calculate just a few other things that you can probably guesstimate, right? They will probably spend at least $500,000 to the city getting permits, right? And this is another part that goes into the cost. A lot of people don't understand that here in America, it's expensive to build compared to other countries. We have to pull a permit for every single little thing you do. For example, these guys are right now putting up the pillars. You can see a lot of rebar standing up. They're putting up the pillars for the next floor, okay? Before they can pour the slab, the city's gonna have to come out and inspect to make sure that all that steel and rebar has been placed correctly, okay? That costs money. Then when the slab gets poured, there's more money being paid out to the city there. They have to pull permits for every single little thing. Let's not mention that this developer most likely has a loan out on this building's construction, probably a construction loan, okay? Now let's assume that they do something incorrectly. Something's not done up to code, and the city comes and halts construction. Keep in mind, the developer still has the loan. That loan has to be paid monthly regardless. There's interest on that loan. So if the city shuts down their construction site for a month or 2 months to correct whatever was done incorrectly, that's money coming out of the developer's pocket that's now going to be added onto that $200,000 that we're already in just for the land, okay? So I did just a lowball assuming that this developer is going to spend at least $500,000, $500,000 to the city alone to get permits and things up to code, right? That adds up to about $16,000 per unit at 30 units. You're already at $216,000, okay? Now, these people working behind me, these are most likely unionized labor workers, meaning that you are not paying these people $10, $15 under the table. No. These people are probably earning the average union wage here for construction workers, which is $75,000 to like $125,000. When you do the math on that, that breaks down to about, on the low end, if they're earning, let's assume right now, I can count at least 30 guys that I'm seeing, 30 different men. If these guys are earning at least $36 an hour, right? That adds up quickly, very, very quickly. Now, what I did is I went ahead and I estimated that, let's say each unit in this building takes about 500 hours of labor work to complete each unit. Let's assume that we're already at 216,000 just from land and permits to the city. Now, assuming that the amount of labor that went into your individual unit was about 500 hours, that would put you at $18,000 in labor costs for your unit on top of that. 18,000. Now you're at 234,000. Okay, this crap adds up, and a lot of people wonder why everything is so expensive. One, blame your city for making construction so hard to do in this city, stopping people at every moment. But overall, that just shows you, just to get the building done with the minimal estimated cost, you're already at $230,000. The developer still has to make money, right? There's still other labor costs that I haven't even calculated. It's not just your unit being built. There's the common areas, there's the hallways, there's the roofing, there's all this, there's windows, all. It's most likely going to be more than 500 hours for your individual unit. And at that 36 per hour rate, it adds up very fast. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go down there and I'm going to show you guys. At the front of each of these construction sites, there's always a wall that they put up because they don't want people getting into the site, and it's for safety reasons. But on that wall, usually the city makes them post all their permits, and that permit allows any person who lives in the neighborhood to ride by and see what's going on, see who's the contractor, all that stuff. This is common stuff in even other countries. So I'm going to ride down and I'm going to show you guys the reality of what it looks like from down below. And I'm going to take you guys around my neighborhood as well and show you other developments that have come up. But overall, that is the reality of what it takes to build in this city. 30 men, each getting paid at least $36 an hour. Now, you also have to remember that this developer most likely has to provide all of these men with hard hats. They have to provide all these men with the safety strap and safety gear that they're wearing. You remember, guys, we have OSHA. OSHA is what protects us as workers. These workers are protected by OSHA, which means that all that safety gear that you see, all the hard hats, all the steel boots, every strap that's holding them on to make sure they don't fall off the top of the building, that's coming out of the developer's pocket. And guess what? That comes out your pocket when you have to go and buy that unit. But what we're going to do is we're going to go down there and I'm going to show you guys the reality of this city. I think that it's lovely that you guys get to see this live because I've watched a few buildings in my area come up already. Now I'm going to zoom in and just show you guys what these guys are actually doing. But overall, this is the backbone of America. This is the reality of what it takes to give you guys a beautiful city, what it takes to give you guys high-end luxury condos. And these are the men who build this city for us. Look at this. Look at this. Respect to these guys. For y'all who don't know, I worked construction in my past. You see what I was saying? The guy who's pulling those boards, there's straps behind him. Those are safety straps. You guys probably can't see that. Those wires right there behind him, those are to ensure that he doesn't fall. Even if it looks like there's a couple guys standing around, guess what? They're getting paid per hour. This comes out your pocket. Respect to these guys for real. And a lot of the time, people forget to understand that they just say what's up to me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down. I'm gonna show you guys the front of the construction site, and then I'm gonna also take you guys to the other sides of the city, other construction sites that have come up, and we'll do that right now. I'll catch y'all. Just like that, gotta take the Jimmy Mobile. I always say this. Using a bike in New York City is 10 times better and faster than the train, bus, or walking, depending on where you're going. I've always been a biker, always will be. Oh, here's another part you guys don't know. I take my bike because it's a specialized brand, right? Very desirable brand for these. So I have to keep it in the building. Otherwise, if I lock it up outside, it's going to get stolen. This is how I carry my bike downstairs. 5 flights on my shoulder, one hand on the handlebar, and down we go. Like that. Smells like a dead body. It's disgusting. Hello. I'm good. How you doing? You have a good day. So the first building I showed you on my page is this one. That's the one with the luxury rental units. That's what it looks like from the front. BMW drivers, I swear. They're all the same. They think they own the road. Sorry about that. Thank you. So, the first place we're going right now is the building under construction across from my rooftop. The first one that I showed under construction. Let's go. That building that's under construction. This is what the street looks like. You have these old row homes that are still protected. Not protected, but you have some old family homes. And then right in the middle of it all, it's coming up. And then the one that's currently under construction is this right here. Oh, I want to see if the permits are on the wall for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. This has to be put up. So this also goes into the cost of your apartment. In order for them to build, they have to get permits for scaffolding and everything. Most of the time, they don't own the scaffolding. This stuff is rented. On top of that, you guys can see in the little peephole, this is what's currently being built that I showed you guys from my rooftop. And that's the inside of it. And look at the number of permits that has to be acquired for them to continue with construction. This is insane. This is why it's so expensive. You guys see this? Every single one of them, work permit, work permit, work permit, work permit. Let me read one for example. For example here, concrete and rebar work, formwork, steel work, framing. What is that? Housekeeping and site safety. Installation of a temporary roof protection as per plans during a new building construction work, no change. Come on now, temporary roof, you have to get a permit. Installation of heavy duty sidewalk shed and medium duty pipe scaffolding per plans during new building. This, remember what I just said? You have to get a permit for this. That's the exact permit for it right there. Installation of a heavy duty sidewalk shed, medium duty pipe scaffold. That's this. Medium duty pipe scaffold, overhead shed, all that. Overall, all this adds up into your apartment cost. Every single thing. Let me see for another example, another one. Oh my gosh. Oh, so they have to constantly renew this. So look at this. Installation of a heavy duty sidewalk shed. That's what I'm standing under right now. This was issued 7/24. It expires in 1 year. So what's the difference between that and this? Do they have to get multiple? Oh my gosh, that's insane. But overall, this is what that building that was under construction looks like. And that's how all of this stuff plays out in the end. Let me see if they have a rendering. I think there's a rendering right here. How you doing? You live on the street? Mm-hmm. You live on the street? What was here before they started building this? Because I'm making a video on YouTube.
It was like a big house that had like overgrown grass, whatever.
Also, it wasn't the row homes. It was just like a single home.
Yeah.
One or how many? Just
one.
Just one. That's a big lot.
I know, right?
Dang. So
I
you.
never saw the back. I just saw like it was a small little part. You could see
Uh-huh.
how far down it was.
Wow. Do you think that this is gonna affect like your rents in this area or what? Because most likely these will probably be luxury, right?
I don't even know, again.
You have a good one. Appreciate that. You guys heard it firsthand. It was a single family home that was here. And what's it called? He lives on this street. And he said he sat here and watched it. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, on to the next place. So, the second place I'm going to take you guys to today is that yellow/white building. I'm gonna get behind the camera and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I showed you guys this on the first episode, and now you guys are gonna see it. Remember I said that I'm taking, this place is a Sears. You can see that, Sears Roebuck. It used to be a huge department store, and it had so many parking lots and like such a huge lot around it. Right now, what you're seeing right here, this yellow/white building, it's part of that development. You can see some big white building back here. That's also part of that development. And everything you're seeing in the distance, these newer looking buildings right here, like this gray one right there, that's a new development right there. Obviously you see One World Trade Center in the background. What a beautiful shot. But overall, that's the second place I'm going to take you guys to, and you guys are going to see the development that's coming up right behind the Sears Roebuck right there. Even the pretty brick building, that's also brand new. I saw that one get built. Pretty much in Brooklyn is building up quickly. This skyline, if I showed you guys pictures from when I first moved in, it is completely different. But overall, that's the goal for today. Take you guys to the Sears Roebuck. I'm gonna show y'all is the Sears department store, where they're building like 870 something apartments. Like I said, most of those will probably be luxury, but according to online stuff, they say that some of them will be set aside for affordable. I highly doubt it, because they usually just end up selling them as a luxury unit at the end of the day. But that's the next place we're going to. What's it called? Let me not get hit by a car. So off to Sears we're heading. I'm gonna actually show you guys how much development has happened on this street alone. This is what am I on right now? Is this Bedford Ave? I think this is Bedford Ave. Let's see the sign. Look at that. That's brand new right there. Yeah, we're on Bedford Ave right now. But yeah, that's a brand new building right there. And you guys will see, you can probably see the Sears in the background. Sears Roebucks. It's not too far from here. And this is what it looks like as we roll up to it. That's the Sears store, and you can see, oh man, let me cross. You can see the luxury building behind it, right there. That was once parking lot, essentially. You see the scaffolding around it. Oh, look at this. So it says 800 something units. That's insane. That's the old Sears store. Let me take y'all to see the permit. Remember I said everything has to be permitted in this city? I can see the permit right there on the wall. Oh man. Let's look at this. Beverly Road. Does it mention how many units? I don't think so, but pretty much that's what's coming up right now. And that's what we were seeing from my building. If you guys remember seeing the white and pink / yellows, what's it called? It's pretty much that. Let me go to the other side of it. Let me see. They should have some more permits on written somewhere to give more details as to what it's gonna be. This thing is huge. Oh my gosh, you guys don't understand. I'm telling you, this was like all parking lot. It was empty. Not one single permit. I don't see a permit anywhere. I guess with these larger developments, they don't post them out front. I'm not sure. But on the other side of the parking lot, this is what it looked like once. You see, I don't think there's any permits out here. This thing is huge though. You can see it. Yeah, this thing is huge. Look at that. You know how many units it's gonna have? You know how many units it's gonna have over here? I looked online. They say they're building like 877 of them. Yeah. Spending like close to like $500 million on this. It's crazy. But what I'm saying is, if they come here and build like 1,000 units, right? It's gonna drop all the property values over here, or raise their property values, depending on how much these sell for. So it's either gonna make the place a lot cheaper or a lot more expensive, depending on what type of units that they put in.
So every time they do something like this,
Yeah.
The property value of these houses could go up.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
when these people who own these start to change.
Like on my block, it's mostly what's it called, like old grandmas
Yeah.
and grandpas that bought in like the 70s and 80s and all that.
Yeah.
So I'll be talking to them, and they're like, I bought my house for 200,000, but I look online right now, all their houses are worth 1.5, 1.8.
Yeah.
So probably same thing is gonna happen to these ones right here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'm from Queens. We have big houses.
Oh yeah, you Queens, y'all have a lot more land, a lot more
And I'm
space.
all that, and our houses are big.
Huge, yeah.
So I could imagine how much those houses are worth now.
Exactly. But the difference between Queens and Brooklyn is Brooklyn's like a lot more densely populated, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to find those large lots.
Yeah.
The only ones remaining are on that side, you know, like that protected historic district?
Yeah.
Those are like the last ones like that. But in
Yeah.
Queens, those are probably everywhere.
Yeah, because the neighborhood, you can tell which neighborhood in Queens
Yeah.
are the old neighborhoods
And which ones, yeah.
and which one's the newer neighborhoods.
Exactly.
Like
Oh.
Glendale's the newer neighborhood.
Exactly.
You can tell
From the
by the
architecture and
houses,
everything.
by the houses.
Yeah.
Woodhaven, Queens is the older neighborhood.
That's old money.
And they have big houses there.
The old Victorians that were built when...
yeah,
all that. They're beautiful though. I hope they don't ever tear them down.
No,
Because if they tore them down to build this stuff, that would destroy their character.
when I grew up in Richmond Hill,
Richmond Hill?
we used to live in a two-family house.
Uh-huh.
I live on the top floor with my mom and dad.
Uh-huh.
We had 2 floors.
Wow.
Now, if I lived there, that would my mom and dad had plans that got made by
Like the apartment?
apartment.
Yeah.
And my father had like a dead.
Wow. That was a big house then.
And it was a big house.
Wow. But the landlord's probably been rich if he owns that.
Yeah.
He's probably been rich.
But she's, yeah.
Those are the type of places you never give up.
No.
The type of places that once your family gets in, you guys just hold on to that. But yeah, I'm about to go look at some other development. I'm making a YouTube video. You have a good day, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate the talk.
All right.
Be safe.
Take care of yourself.
You too. So the last place I want to take you guys today is a old, historic, and protected district of Brooklyn. When I say old, I mean that these are Victorians. These are all custom homes that were built back in the day when Brooklyn was developing. When I say they're protected, I mean that you can't tear these homes down. This video is about Brooklyn's gentrification. But while all that happens all around the city, while you see these large apartment blocks come up and you see row homes get knocked down for apartments, there's a little section of Brooklyn in the heart of it that's protected with old Victorian homes that can't be torn down, and they must remain pretty much that way. And when you buy those homes and you renovate them, there's actual stipulations on what you can change. Like there's certain things you can't change on the fascia, maybe colors, maybe structurally you have to get approval from the city. But overall, while everyone else fights gentrification and a growing population, there's a small nestled group of people who have these protected homes. But the crazy part is those homes cost a minimum of like 2.5, 2.8 million for one that you're gonna have to renovate, but realistically they all sell for $3 million, $4 million. And these homes are beautiful. Trust me, thank the city for actually protecting this district in this area, because it holds character. It shows you a piece of what Brooklyn used to look like back in the day. And that's the last place I'm going to take you. The reason I love this area is because the streets are tree lined. The homes have old, large grown trees that stand way above you. They tower over the whole street. It's just very shaded. It's very serene. And at times it makes you forget that you're in the middle of a city like Brooklyn. One thing a lot of people don't know is that Brooklyn is highly, highly populated. If Brooklyn was a city on its own, it would be, I believe, one of the largest cities in the country. We have a population of 3 point something million people, so I believe we would be larger than a city like Philadelphia if we were to be a city on our own. And while all that exists around here, there's a protected district with old Victorians. Let's go. I'm gonna take y'all to the historic district with protected houses. These houses can't be torn down, and they all cost $3.5, $4 million. A whole lot of money. Whole lot of cash. Oh my gosh. Nobody likes sharing the road with bikers. Everybody hates a biker. This is right around the corner from that 870 something development. So I gotta get to the other side right now. You guys can see some of the houses right here. Oh my gosh. Look at this. These are the houses I was talking about. Tell me these things aren't beautiful. Like that right there, that's gorgeous. Right on. Look at this. Old money. Look at how beautiful these are. And these are all protected. You can't tear these down. I'm trying to get to the other street. Where am I at right now? All right. Not bad. So this, I'm on the right side? Yeah, I think so. This is probably my favorite street or streets here in Brooklyn. All these are tree lined, and you can actually hear the birds. You can actually hear me. Sure, it's beautiful. I think that's a school. That's not a house. But this shit is beautiful. Like I said, none of these are gonna go for under 3.5 to 4 million. Most of them are probably gonna be like $5 million. And you guys see the tree coverage here? Like, look at that. You can barely see that one. Hidden behind all the trees. I love this. Then you got all of that. place is beautiful. Beautiful homes. Look at that. That is beautiful. Oh my gosh. All of these. Like I said, this is a protected district. These homes cannot be torn down. They must remain the way they are. And you can't come here and develop any apartments. It must remain with these single family homes. But some of them have been chopped up on the inside to like give apartments. Some rich college students ran out over here. Come on now, that's gorgeous. The way you know that you're in a historic district is usually, oh my bad, that right there. When you see the brown signs instead of green signs, that's how you know that you're in a historic district. You'll see the difference right there. Those signs are green. See that? And this side is brown. That's how you know that you're in a historic district right now. Here's the funny part. While on this side you have those protected homes and everything, on this side you have right the opposite. You have bricked up, built up 5-8-story buildings. Y'all see the difference? Just one street over, it's a completely different picture. It went from $5 million homes to probably still $1 million homes or condos, but the difference in how this place is populated is insane. On this street alone, there's probably more residents than the whole protected historic district. That's so funny to me. I'm gonna go down one more street and then I'm gonna call that the end of the day for this tour right here. Let me see. I notice how quiet and slow everything here is compared to the other area. Oh man. I'm gonna keep going down. This. How beautiful these homes are. What a stark difference. It's like day and night. Just one street over. One street you have about 10,000 residents. The next street you have about 25. It changes so fast. But like I said, y'all see the difference in the trees? Look how big these trees are. These things are like at least 40, 50 years old. I'm gonna make a U-turn on the next street over. Look at that. These homes are gorgeous. Y'all notice how quiet it is? I can whisper and you guys will be able to hear me. Alright, I gotta get over one street. Even look at this, their streets have medians. There's no medians in the rest of Brooklyn. A tree line median, come on now. That screams old money. And look, right next to this is this building. So you gotta keep going all the way down. And back to Jimmy's side we go. Here's the difference. One street over. I was able to whisper on the other street. Now it's cars humming and zooming. Left and right. One street over. Completely packed up. See this? Look at the difference. We went from single family Victorians to this, and now you can't hear me. I have to scream for you guys to hear me. Let's keep going. We're gonna bust a left over here. Let's go this way. So we're back in the area that I was gonna buy a condo in. I think the building that I was gonna purchase in is right here. You can see it. The condo was like 200 something thousand. I think it was like 180 to 225. And that's the building right there. And what's so funny is right next to it is single families, but that's pretty much the building I'm gonna show y'all next. And I'm gonna show y'all the condo that I was about to buy inside there. It was close. We're back. So, my beautiful, beautiful subscribers, that officially marks the end of watching Brooklyn gentrified from my rooftop. I figured, even though it's 2 a.m. right now and I just got done editing the video, I figured to myself, since we started this journey on the rooftop, we're gonna end it on the rooftop. But overall, from part one, I was able to show you guys directly off my rooftop the gentrification that I've seen. And I gave you guys at least 3 different examples of it. Today, in part 2, I was able to take you guys to those places physically. Not only the standard gentrification happening right across from my building at the new construction site right there, but also to the mega gentrification happening on the other side of Brooklyn, right by the Sears Center. In addition to that, I gave you guys a district of Brooklyn that is protected from gentrification. That's where the real money lies. Those $3.5 million old Victorians, all that stuff is protected from what we have to experience here in the rest of Brooklyn. But overall, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got a true insight into how gentrification happens and the actual realities of it, looking at it from up front and from my rooftop. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!